Hey, do you need CCEUs for your renewal? AC, PCC, or MCC? You come to the right place. So what are we talking about today, Chris?
Hi, Kirsten. Hi, everyone. So I think the first thing is people often reach out to us saying, I need to renew. How do I do this? What are these renewals? How are these broken up into core competencies or resources, etc.? So it might be useful for us to have a little discussion around what these things mean, how people can do that to provide some clarity for people who want to renew.
And what we want to do is we don't want to show you a bunch of slides, but we want to go directly to the web pages where you can find all of this information, because this information does tend to change every once in a while. And we just want to make sure that you have the most accurate and up-to-date information. So the first thing that you need to go to before you start with your renewal process is the ICF website. And let me quickly show you where you find the information. And obviously, we're going to put all the links in the description box below, which is your short reminder. If you're going to look at the description box, you might as well hit the subscribe and like. Let the algorithm know that you like our content. That would be very helpful. So without further ado, here is the ICF website. So now you can see it. You go to Credential and Standards, renew credential. And here you can find all of the information. The first thing that they're going to show you is how to sign into your ICF profile. And I'll do that now. Here I'm logged in. I'm logging into my profile, accessing my profile. And then you can find some links here. You click on credentialing. You have all of your applications. And here you see I'm MCC. My credential is due in 2025. And here says enter CCE hours. And here I can click on credential renewal application. And I can start by clicking here, CCEUs, and it will tell me what I need. Even that, I think, is pretty cool that you have all the information, the basic information here. You need 24 hours in the area of core competency, at least 3 hours in coaching ethics, no more than 16 hours in the area of resource development. Now, these make up for you need 40 in total. So the 3 in ethics are part of the 24. So actually you need 21 in core competencies, 3 in ethics, or 24 in core competencies, including 3 in ethics. Okay. Now what you do, you go here and it says requirements not yet met because I haven't put in anything. Here you can see I reported 1 hour in core competency. So that's not a lot, but here you look, enter education hours, and then you select, let's say, coaching ethics, the provider, the course name, start date, date finish, number of hours, and upload your certificate. And then automatically this will show up in your dashboard, and I can share my screen again so you know here in this dashboard, so then you know how many you still need over the next 3 years. So that's, I guess, the easiest way to keep track. And whenever you go and get CCEUs, you just go to your page and upload them immediately. So then you don't have to go looking in your files. And if you're a little bit like me, paper and files are sometimes they have this magical way of disappearing into I think my house has like this paper-sized hole where papers just go and disappear. I don't know. Probably not like that for you at all, Chris.
Uh, I just keep all my papers all over the place.
Yeah. So it's really just use that as a way of keeping track. So now the next question is, how do I get these CCE? And what we want to do is present a couple of options. Let's first talk about the 3 ethics CCU that you need. They are actually quite easy to get. You go, again, I'm going to share my screen. You're going to access your profile on the ICF website, and then here, access ICF learning portal. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. It'll verify some stuff. Then you can launch the ICF, my current course, because I've done it, right? ICF coaching ethics course, but you can also find them by searching. So just a second. So as you see here, we already have the course, and it seems to be like many people have this on their dashboard already. But if you want to go search for it, you can go to the catalog and you can find tons of coaching ethics course, 3 CCs. This is in Spanish and this is in English. Why the description is in Spanish? We don't know. Okay, here it is in English, and here you have it in German, and so you have different languages. And maybe, Chris, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with this course?
Sure. With the ethics course, it's something that I kind of do it when I renew, because it's 3 hours. It's just a reminder of what are the ethics, what are we doing as coaches. It's testing a little bit where we are with our understanding of the code of ethics from the ICF. So I think, honestly, it's a good renewal that we can do. It doesn't take long. It's not complicated. And it is a good refresher.
And if you are looking at this ICF portal, you can see, you can go, I want something, browse course catalog. I want something in core competencies. And here you can see 1.5 CCs. Now I have ethics as my search here, so I'm going to unclick that. Core competencies here, mastering internal marketing for coaching. 3 in resource development. Why? I said I want in core competencies. Show me the core competencies.
It's also core competencies if I see.
But it's resource development. Yeah. Oh well.
You've got it. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not working, but anyway, here you can always see how many core competencies you will get. And some of these courses are free. Other of these courses are paid. So you just lots and lots and lots. You can see tons of opportunities to whatever is interesting for you. You can see where you can get your CCEs from.
Can I add something here, Kirsten? Just for those watching, if you'll notice, the core competencies are often 1 hour or 1.5 hours. It's very rarely that we find something with a lot of core competency hours. So the recommendation is, instead of trying to rush everything and do it all in one day to try and get those 10 core competencies down, rather periodically set up something, go to a webinar, listen to something, and then just constantly keep logging them. And those 16 hours in core competencies will be over quite quickly. So rather do it more consistently, log it as Kirsten showed earlier, instead of trying to do it the night before the renewal, all 16 in one go.
Yeah. The next possibility is going to ICF events, and Chris will talk you through that in just a bit, and we're going to share the website with that as well.
So welcome to ICF events. As you see in the top, ICF-events.org, which Kirsten is sharing with you. So lots of events constantly happening with ICF all around the world in different languages, etc. And all of these in some way do count towards your collecting and our collecting of our continued coach education hours. As you can see, lots of languages, spaces left. Really, from this perspective, ICF trying to make it as simple as possible for us just to click, register, and be present. Here we see as well, CCEs offered, resource development 1, competency 0. Yep. Also, as Kirsten goes to the podcasts, often a great resource is the podcast. When we listen to a podcast, which we like doing, driving in the car, walking around somewhere, many podcasts are also connected to core competencies. Really, really interesting to listen, to grow in our coaching in some way. I know on the ICF Germany site that they have a host of podcasts that count for 0.5 core competencies, CCEUs each, and a little homework exercise that you can do after you've listened, fill out 1 or 2 questions, and then get registered for CCEs for the podcast. And there's a lot of them in English in there as well. Thank you, Kirsten, for sharing
Coach
this.
Federation /ICF podcast.html. And then here you can see 5 proven steps to turn your painful challenges into powerful challenges. And then here you click, when you've listened to it, you click on CCEUs, and then your email and your full name, and you answer a couple of questions, and then ta-da, you get resource development CCEs. So that's also an easy place. You just listen, get resource development. Okay, let's focus a little bit more on the core competency one. One really good way of getting all your 40 core competencies in a row is called the PCC marker training, or the PCC assessor training, which is available on the ICF learning portal that we just showed. So what you need to do is you need to access the ICF learning portal. I'm going to show you again. Here we are, in the learning.coachingfederation.org. Go to the catalog. You search for assessor, I think. Let's hope.
Yeah, it was called. Tell you now what it's called? Yeah,
Here,
PCC marker assessor training.
There we go. There we go. For this course has the following requirements in order to purchase PCC or MCC credentials. So if you have that, you can add to cart, and I think it costs. Let's add it to cart. Yeah, great. One item. Does it? Yeah, here you see, it costs $150. But that's that's good value for money, and it's an interesting training.
Exactly.
So
again, give yourself enough time to do it, everyone. Don't try to run through it in one day, because it does require listening to some recordings, assessing the recordings, engaging with the material. So one of the things, if I might add here, Kirsten, is often when we have calls from people wanting to renew, people coming going, how can I renew as quickly as possible? And it might be good just to keep in mind, as you're renewing now and for the future, to have kind of a consistent system where you're building in your hours in, so that when it comes to the end of the 3 years, most people would already have enough. Even a lot of people are engaged in the coaching community, but not keeping a track of those CCEs or those hours on their profiles. So it really helps a lot if we do that step by step along the way as well. Just wanted to add.
And remember, you need 3 hours in ethics, which you get by doing this free ethics course. So do that, be done with it. So then 3. Then you need another 21 in core competencies, and those are the difficult ones. So within 3 years, 21, 3 years are 36 months. So every month, every 1.5 months, every 6 weeks, take one event that gives you one core competency CCE, and you should be fine. Now, some people are organized, some people enjoy the last minute crunch. So if you enjoy the last minute crunch, then the PCC assessor training is a really good bet or the ACC bars training gives you 12 of your 21. I think that's the quickest way to get CCEs if you are in like a last minute rush. Also know that you can ask ICF for an extension. So you can ask them for a 3 months extension, then you'll have to produce, I think, half a CCE more per month that you are extending to avoid a lapse of your credential, which is really stupid to have, because then you're not visible as a PCC coach on the, or ACC coach on the list, ICF list. And if somebody verifies you, then you might get into trouble with the ethics and all of that. So don't do that. Another source of CCEs in core competencies would be supervision and mentor coaching that you take. So as we said, it's every 6 weeks you need one. So if you want to engage in supervision or mentor coaching, which is good practice anyway, every 6 months, you have your 16 CC, no, your 21 CCEs in core competencies right there. So that's another way. And shameless plug, on our website, solutionsacademy.com, you can find a lot of qualified supervisors and mentors, which we are going to show you in a bit. And we have a very easy booking system. Yeah. I'm just going to show you our site. And don't think we want to sell you something here. It's just that I know that these people are good people. There are a lot of other really, really good people. So you look at contact here, and you can find Chris, and you can say you want coaching supervision or mentor coaching, Carlo, Christina. So here are a lot of people that I trust that you can book. And Solutions Academy is not taking any fee from them. You just, if you're not part of our courses, just book, let them know, hey, I'm not part of Solutions Academy courses, but I would like some supervision from you, and agree on a fee and be done. Another good place is any coach that you trust, any supervisor that you trust. I would, if I was going to engage in mentor coaching, make sure that this person is very aware of the ICF core competencies and is maybe a teacher in an ICF accredited school, because there is a lot of mythology out there about the core competencies that's not necessarily helpful for supervision or mentoring clients. So just use discernment when choosing a mentor.
Clarification question here, Kirsten. So for a renewal, it says that you can use 10 mentoring hours towards that renewal. So if someone is renewing an ACC and has done 10 mentoring hours, how many of those would count towards core competency hours?
Think all of them. Again, if we have questions like that, the place to go is the ICF website.
Excellent.
So here again, because again, these things, renew credential, you go to the ICF website, and here it says the renewal requirements. 40 hours. Of the 40 hours, 24 in core competency. Of these, 3 in ethics. 10 hours of mentor coaching. So if you're renewing an ACC and not upgrading to PCC, you need 10 hours of mentor coaching, 3 hours of ethics, 13. So 11 hours of something else in core competencies. And then the remaining hours can be resource development or core competencies, but resource development are easier to get. For PCC, we don't need mentor coaching.
No mentoring required.
Up to 10 hours of mentor coaching, giving or receiving. So if you're giving mentor coaching, that counts. And up to, and plus up to 10 hours of coaching supervision, giving or receiving, may be used towards the required 40 CCE and count as core competency credit. So of your 24 minus 3 ethics, 21, 20 can be in mentor coaching and supervision. So 10 in mentor coaching, 10 in supervision. So that's really, I encourage everyone before you ask anyone, always go to the ICF website, check what is the most current regulation, and that's the best source of information here. So I guess we can continue with the shameless plugs a little bit, because we have a couple of CCE courses that might be interesting for you. One is our coaching supervision course, where you learn to be a coaching supervisor, accredited with EMCC, because ICF doesn't yet have a coaching supervision credential, worth 40 CCEUs in core competency. So do that and be done. Link in the description below. And we have the same for mentor coaching. We have a course to become a mentor coach, which is great, because then you can also collect CCEUs by giving mentor coaching and supervision hours. So it's like don't teach a person how to fish, but give them a fish every day. No, I don't know. It's the other way around. It'll allow you to collect CCEUs on the fly as you're going along forever and ever. So mentor coaching course, 40 CCEs in core competencies, supervision course, 40 CCEs in core competencies, and they're fun courses. And okay, stopping the shameless plug here. But then there are also other providers that are offering similar CCE courses, and you can find those in the ICF events calendar, or you can go again. I'm going to show you where you can find it on the ICF website. So I'll show you where to find those on the ICF website. You go find education, pretty clear. Education services. And then you can say CCE, say deliver virtual, search. And here you can find all of the wonderful people who are offering CCEs, blah, 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 blah. So you can learn about the power of presence, neuro coaching, something in French. You can do psychology for coaches. Ton of stuff that you can do here. And sadly, they don't tell you how many CCEs they give you, but you can click on this, that this is coactive, for example, and then in the program details, it'll give you 11.775 in core competency, for example. So these are all the ones for CCEs and core competencies that we know. Now, should we have a look at what are all of the things that we can do for the resource development ones?
Excellent.
So, Chris, what are your ideas? How do we get the resource developed? I mean, we don't need them if we get 40 CCs and core competencies, but we can make our lives a little bit easier by getting 16 in resource. So, what are you doing there?
Well, I think the first thing is just keeping an eye on that the education button icon inside my ICF profile is the easiest one, because I just click on catalog and then I go through the catalog and see what's interesting for me. Keeping an eye on that. Almost everything is resource development. So the 16 that we need in that resource development is actually fun, because it's just areas of interest that I can go and listen to podcasts, follow up on things. So what I've been doing as well is following up on the German podcasts. I like the site. I like what's there. No, my German is not great, but I listen in English. I follow up with that. So the resource development is a lot easier to start adding into our profile and doing consistently. I think a lot of coaches pay attention also to the stuff that you've already been doing. A lot of people, I think, have been doing things. They've been going to webinars or seminars or enrolling in things. Also pay attention if this is actually CCE accredited, because people might be sitting on tons of CCEs already without maybe having an awareness of that. So that would be an area to start as well. Just seeing what have you done already that might qualify, what is interesting for you that connects to the catalog on your ICF profile page, and just jump in.
And here again, the ICF website, you go to professional development, renew. I'm going to show you the path. Renew credential, blah, 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 blah. Access CCE information and resources. And then you can see accepted CCE courses. And here under self-paced study, you can find self-paced courses and other self-study activities fall in the category of resource development. So non-coach specific training, certificate, letterhead from the provider. So we have a couple of these on our website as well. So if you want to, publishing peer-reviewed research. So if you've researched, summary of the research, required documentation. Activities unrelated, reading, required documentation, name of book, article, time frame of when read, how many hours spent reading, summary information of your activities. So if you read a book, it counts. If you read research, archived learning. So a lot of things, I mean, reading a book will count as resource development. And here you have a summary. Maybe that's good to sum this up. We'll put this link in the description as well, so you have a good summary. Complementary ethics course. Click, here's the communities of practice events. ICF Learning Portal. Chapter events is on the events site. Conferences is on the event sites. CCE hours by an education provider is on the education site that we just showed you. Education hours from an ICF accredited level 1, 2, 3, etc. So all of your ICF accredited courses, for example, our team coaching course counts for, here it says, all hours will be documented to the core competency requirement. So if you take our 60-hour team coaching course, you will have 60 hours in team coach renewal, core competency renewal. Same with any of our other accredited courses. So here, I think is a really neat summary. And then here you can see what counts as mentor coaching and what documentation you need, self with other non-ICF accredited programs. Serving as an instructor, so we're kind of in the clear because we always serve enough as instructors. Or even if you developed an education curriculum, or if you've been writing. So social media posts don't count, but if you've written a book, that also counts. And here again, you have a list of all the things that you can do. I guess the only thing that we can remind you of is if you have any further questions, just come to our free credentialing clinic that we run every 2 weeks, and we can explain more if you have any questions. Link also in the description below. Anything else that we forgot to tell people?
I think if we have, the questions will be welcome at the credentialing clinic.
Or just post them in the comments below because the algorithm likes that. And if you have a question, probably somebody else has the same question and we'll answer them in the comments. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.